Welcome to our chair yoga practice. Welcome to our Encore ladies, our YWCA Hunter members, and also any of our Friday chair yogis. Great to have you join me for another practice. So today's practice will be focusing mainly on our hips. So just to really loosen those up, we spend a lot of time sitting, so this is a great practice to really loosen that upper area. So to start our practice, most important thing is get nice and stable in our chair, feet firmly on the ground, toes spread apart, our knees are over our ankles and our knees are about 2 fists apart, keeping that core nice and engaged. So like it's a tight pair of jeans, the belly button to the spine, relaxing our shoulders down our back, keeping our crown of our head to the ceiling and the chin just tucked slightly. So just really relaxing and bringing our focus to our breath. And if you can, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and then out through the nose as well. Just trying to extend that breath. And extending it on each inhale and each exhale. Smooth as silk on the inhale. And then just letting it all out on the exhale. And just getting our bodies and our minds ready for this practice. Just putting away all the thoughts and the things that are going on around us and outside this space. And just bringing that focus to your breath. And when we're ready, just like you to bring your hands down by your side. And on the inhale, just bringing them up overhead. And exhale, pushing it down. Inhale, up overhead. Exhale, down, arms down by our sides. And one more time. Inhale. And a big exhale. Now when you're ready, just our chin down to our chest. And on the exhale, looking up. Just a couple more of these. Just to loosen that neck. And then just looking over one shoulder and then the other. Just slowly movements. Just in rhythm with our breath. Remembering to inhale and exhale. Just one more on either side. And exhale. And then coming back to center. And we're just going to roll our shoulders backwards. Inhaling up and exhaling on back. Inhaling up and exhale back. Inhaling up and rolling those shoulders beautifully on the exhale. And we'll do that in the opposite direction. So, inhaling back and exhaling forward. Inhaling back, exhaling forward. Inhaling Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now with our legs, we'll just bring one up at a time, and on the exhale, lowering it. Inhale, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhale. Just one more on either side. And we might just speed that up now. Just one leg at a time. Just trying to warm those hips and those legs. And now next, just bring one leg, your right leg up, and we'll just rotate those ankles and in the opposite direction. Just whatever feels comfortable. And remembering to breathe. And then lowering the right leg, and let's lift up that left. And rotating that ankle. And in the opposite direction. And whatever feels comfortable, and give those toes a bit of a wriggle. And lowering that left leg. Now we'll start with our cat-cows. So remembering keeping your sitting bones nice and firmly on the chair, your legs firmly on the ground, and realigning to our mountain pose. The hands on our thighs, and we breathe in, looking up to the ceiling, chest out, elbows back, shoulders down. And on the exhale, tilting that pelvis forward, rounding those shoulders, chin to chest. And then inhaling, tilting back, chest to the ceiling, or chin up to the ceiling. And exhaling. Do a couple more of these in your own time. And in rhythm with your own breath. And when you've completed that, just coming back to our seated mountain pose. Now with your hands down by our sides, you might like to move a little bit forward in the chair, just making sure you're still stable. And then we're just going to lift our arms either to in front of us, or if you can, up overhead. So whatever is comfortable for you. And at the same time, lifting up our right leg. And on the exhale, we'll bring it back down. We'll do the opposite leg. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Keeping our cores nice and engaged. That belly button to the spine. Keeping those shoulders away from our ears. And then one more on either leg. This is great for our core as well. And back to our seated mountain pose. If you'd like to just bring your legs out a little wider, making sure you're still stable on the chair. Bringing those knees over those ankles still, so not letting them fall in. So it's just trying to push them out, and as they're angling over your middle toes, vicious to be able to see your big toe, hopefully. Now keeping that core nice and engaged. And we're just going to slowly bring our hands down by our leg. And then just really rest it, the head down toward the ground. And taking a couple of breaths here. and sinking deeper on each exhale. Now on your inhale, just straightening those arms up, straightening that back and lifting that head slightly, so having a nice straight line from your head down to your lower back. And on the exhale, we'll just sink down again. Now inhale, again lifting those arms and straightening those arms, nice straight back, and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now if that's too much for you, your forearms on your thighs, so just relax, resting into it. And on the inhale, just straightening up. Exhaling, sinking into this pose. Inhaling, bringing our chest up, away from our thighs. And we'll just do a couple of more of these. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. And exhale. And on the inhale, engaging that core, feet into the ground, bringing your arms up overhead and down into prayer. And bringing our feet back into in line with our hips. And just coming into seated mountain pose for a couple of breaths. We're going into our lunge or a crescent lunge. So turning over to the side, so whether it's your right or your left, making sure that your sitting bones is nice and sturdy on that chair. Bringing that forward leg over the chair. Now you can just go into this position. So just keeping your hips in alignment or facing forward, and you're up on your toes, if that's okay for you. If you can actually bring your legs straight, that's even a big extended lunge. And we can either just hang on to the chair or the back of the chair. But if it's available to you, bringing up one arm or both arms and just really reaching up, keeping the core nice engaged, our shoulders away from our ears, and bringing that hip forward or in line. And remember dropping those shoulders. A beautiful stretch through that hip flexor here. Just a couple of more breaths here. And one more. Inhale, and on the exhale, we can just release that. Now, if you're in this position, or you're still in the extended leg, keep bringing the arms back up, or hanging on to that chair. And on the inhale, we reach up high, and on the exhale, we lean over towards the chair. But keeping those hips facing forward, but it's giving your whole body a nice stretch down the side. And you can stay at this position if this is where you're at, and really pushing that hip forward. Stay here for one more breath. Remembering to inhale and really stretch it out. And exhale, just sinking it into this pose a bit further. Now on our next inhale, coming out of that pose, releasing that pose, and coming back to our seated mountain pose for a couple of breaths, just to let the body just come back up to that pretty strong pose we've just done. Now let's come over to the other side. So making sure you're nice and sturdy in the chair, feet firmly grounded into the ground. The knee is still over the ankle in that front leg, and then dropping that back leg, keeping those hips in alignment, so facing forward. And if you can, extend it even all the way, keeping it nice and long and on the back of your toes. Keeping the shoulders over the hips. Bringing, if you can, or if it's available to you, bringing one arm up. And if you can, both arms. Keeping that core nice and engaged. Lowering those shoulders away from the ears. And if this is where you're at, that's perfectly okay. Just trying to push those hips forward and keep them in alignment. Maybe at this position. Just taking a couple of more breaths. This is great for our stability as well and balance. Keeping that core engaged, keeping the head looking straight ahead, the crown of the head to the ceiling. Lots to remember, I know. And on the next inhale, we'll just release on the exhale. And then we'll come into our side angle stretch. So again, let's just plant those feet firmly into the ground. Either extend the leg back or keeping it in 90-degree angle. Hips facing forward, shoulders over the hips. Back arm is hanging onto the chair. And on the inhale, bringing it up. And on the exhale, leaning over towards the armrest. Just a couple of breaths here. This is great, keeping that belly button engaged. Great for our stability. And the next inhale, really extend that. And on the exhale, releasing the posture. And coming back to our seated mountain pose. And our next pose is our pigeon pose. So making sure you're nice and grounded in the chair. You might need to come a bit forward, engaging that core. Now we can either bring our ankle over the top, just above our knee, so onto our thigh. So please don't rest it on your knee, if that's available to you. If not, you might need to just do it over your ankle. Might need to come a bit forward for that position. But it is available to you up onto your thigh. Now just gently pushing down onto that knee, not too hard, just a little bit, just opening up those hips. Keeping our hips facing forward, engaging our core. And on the inhale, really opening up that chest. And on the exhale, just sinking into this pose. And just taking a couple of breaths here. Just allowing your body to just sink. And definitely on that exhale, you can just open that hip a bit further. So on the next inhale, releasing it coming up. And on the exhale, releasing the leg. Just take a moment there to allow your body to just feel the benefits of that pose and feel the difference between either side. Now let's come over to the other leg. So the left ankle is over the right, just above the right knee, onto the thigh. Just opening that up gently, keeping that core nice and engaged. Opening up that chest, belly button to your spine. And then on the exhale, just sinking into this over the legs. You really feel that in that hip joint. You might only get to here, and that's okay. Remembering to only go to your threshold. We don't want any pain or discomfort. And if you do feel some, just take it down a notch or just come back to seated mountain pose. And if you're in this position, that's fine as well. Just trying to push that knee, keeping this knee forward and left leg and the knee out, and then just sinking. Just a couple of more breaths here. And on each exhale, just sink a bit further if you can. And our next inhale, gauging our core, coming up and coming back to our seated mountain pose. Now, just hopefully we've evened out those hips and they're both feeling a bit looser and a bit lighter. We'll just, on our inhale, we're going to bring our knee up, extend it out, bring it up again, and exhale, bring it down. We'll do it the opposite leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll do a couple of more of these on each leg. And one more. So hopefully your hips are feeling a lot looser than they were at the beginning of our practice. And back to our seated mountain pose. If you bring your arms down by your side, and on the inhale, we're going to bring our arms over our head. And on the exhale, we're going to bring them out to the side, keeping those shoulders away from the ears, bringing our shoulder blades together. And then we're going to bring our arms out forward and then cross our right arm over our left. And really give ourselves a big hug. And then bringing our chin to our chest and really rounding out the back. Giving the upper back a nice big stretch. And just breathe into this. And then bring on the inhale, coming back out to the side. And on the next exhale, bring in the arms in the opposite direction. So your left arm should be over your right. Bringing our chin to our chest, right, and rounding out the upper back. And a slight tilt in the pelvis. And really rounding it out that upper back and giving it a beautiful stretch. And remembering to breathe. And on our next inhale, coming up to the side. And exhale, our arms down by our sides. And let's get into a nice, comfortable, seated mountain pose, really stable in the chair, feet really firmly onto the ground, keeping that core nice and engaged. And if you'd like to close your eyes or just have them downcast, whatever is comfortable for you. And now I'd just like you to bring your focus to your breath. Becoming aware of the air coming up through your nostrils and the warm air coming out of the nostril over the top of your lip. Just focusing on that breath and allowing your body to just relax and sink further and further into the chair with every exhale. And maintaining that focus on your breath. And just becoming aware of how your body's feeling, especially those hips. Are they lighter? Are they looser? And more mobility. And allowing them to sink into the chair. And when you're ready, open your eyes or bring your eyes up. So being downcast. And with our hands down by our sides, bringing our arms overhead on the inhale and on the exhale down into prayer. From my heart to yours, Namaste. Have a beautiful day.